Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is Exodus 33 and 34. And before I start that, I would like to give some reflections that I've made about God's mercy. You see, yesterday we had come across about the reading of Exodus 32 when the people of Israel were not patient enough to wait for Moses, and they complained and they started making an idol. It's an idol god which is made of gold, their own gold, gold calf, right? So in that reflection, I would like to just say something about it, because see, God at that time he was angry. As you know, God is all powerful and he can sense everything. He can sense our thoughts, our minds. He can read, he can hear us, everything. He is omnipotent, right? He's everywhere. And when in the mountain, he told Moses about what had happened, that these people are not obeying me and they're making false gods and things like that. And when Moses came down, he saw what had happened and he threw down the tablet. He was so angry. But just imagine how God must have been so angry, since he can sense. He must have like just imagine you can hear people talking about you and complaining and making on behalf, like leaving you after all that had happened, which God had saved them from the slavery and things like that. They were making the false god and things. He is. It just shows that he is so merciful and he is so patient with us, right? With mankind. He could have, like, he wanted to destroy. He was very angry, but Moses pleaded him, and that's why he spared the people of Israelites, and he just said, yeah, I'm sending my angels and go to the place that I've promised you, that is Israel, the promised land. He still sent them after all that, right? So reflecting on that, I just wanted to say that God is so merciful to us. See, in Genesis 4, it's as well, while reflecting on the previous readings that I've made, Genesis 4, we have seen that God has spared Cain after murdering his own brother. He was lying even to God and trying to escape and trying to like disobey him by telling, am I the guardian of him, or am I the keeper of my brother, things like that, right? But God, after knowing everything what had done, and he still forgive him, and he still spared his life and sent him away. And in really reflecting on that, I'm just saying, and in Genesis 6 too, we have seen how people have become so so bad that God cannot bear the scene, the picture of what's happening around, and he wanted to destroy all mankind, but he still like have mercy on us. He have mercy, and then he forgave. Kind of forgiving, or kind of like giving mercy. He saved Noah and made the mankind generation to continue. And in Genesis 19 as well, God has spared among the Sodom and Gomorrah city residents. Sake of Moses' plea, God had saved Lot as well. In Genesis 28 as well, God spared Jacob after all that he had taken. He had betrayed his brother, and when his brother was about to kill him, very angry, God spared him, right? And then in yesterday's reading as well, in Genesis Exodus 32, God spared the people, the Israelites, even though they started worshiping the false god, idol making, made by their own hand. So when in the beginning itself, in Genesis 1, when God created the heaven and earth, God also created man in his own image and likeness, and has given us the power to be the master of all creations, right? So he had, when he created us, he had given us a fragment of his knowledge and wisdom to make us judge what is right and what is wrong, and to do the right thing and to live a better life, right? So there is no way that we should be making some gods and believing in certain things, the superficial things that's on this earth to be our master, right? So that's what I wanted to say. Unless a person is so much absorbed by the ideas of reincarnation and things like that, I don't know about that. I mean, I can't say about those things, but then if we just rationalize it, then it is, as for me, it is better to believe by faith that there is someone greater and much bigger and powerful than us and calling him the master than believing in some superficial things or the creations and worshiping that. So I just wanted to relate with yesterday's reading as well. So here I'm not trying to judge anyone or trying to, yeah, um, like discriminate or things like that. But then I just wanted you to reflect today on what we follow and what we believe and how we go, because as a human we have been born and then born by sin and enslaved, and we have been so much absorbed by the society and the rules, regulation, custom, things like that, and we go by the whims only, not not reflecting on oneself, on what's happening to me or what am I doing. Like, we tend to follow in that way, right? So I just wanted you to reflect today, especially on this thing, so that we will not be in the end, because end is going to come obviously, because whoever is born is going to be, is going to die. It's ought to die, I mean, has to die, right? That's how the creation is. There is always expiry thing on everything that is being created. So in the end, so that you will not be regretting, or like, man by birth already has a wisdom and knowledge on what is good and what is right. It doesn't have to blame. We don't have to. We shouldn't be blaming on the the things around, because it is in ourselves. That's, it's already within ourselves. We, the ignorance. The word ignorance is, it's just a man's creation only. The word, we are not ignore. I mean, we're not ignorant, but we tend to fool ourselves to be ignorant and to go, I mean, just follow the flock and just go like that. So today I wanted to tell you to reflect on that, and then just be yourself and try to see what is good and what is bad in
Exodus
yourself, and try to
33.
follow the right
The Lord
path so that
orders
you will
Israel to
attain
leave Mount
the
Sinai.
highest divinity,
The
or
Lord
when
said to
you leave
Moses,
this earth you will
leave
be
this
a happy
place,
person
you and the
in your
people you
next life
brought
as
out of
well, or
Egypt,
what is
and
next to
go to the
come, you will
land
be
that I
happier. So that's what
promised
I
to
wanted to
give
say.
to
So let's
Abraham,
go ahead with the
Isaac,
reading.
and Jacob, and to their descendants. I will send an angel to guide you, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. You are going to be You are going to a rich and fertile land, but I will not go with you myself, because you are a stubborn people, and I might destroy you on the way. When the people heard this, they began to mourn and did not wear jewelry anymore. For the Lord had commanded Moses to say to them, You are a stubborn people. If I were to go with you, even for a moment, I will completely destroy you. Now take off your jewelry, and I will decide what to do with you. So after they left Mount Sinai, the people of Israel no longer wore jewelry. The tent of the Lord's presence. Whenever the people of Israel set up camp, Moses would take the sacred tent and put it up some distance away from the camp. It was called the tent of the Lord's presence, and anyone who wanted to consult the Lord would go out to it. Whenever Moses went out there, the people would stand at the door of their tents and watch Moses until he entered it. After Moses had gone in, the pillar of the cloud would come down and stay at the door of the tent, and the Lord would speak to Moses from the cloud. As soon as the people saw the pillar of cloud at the door of the tent, they would bow down. The Lord would speak with Moses face to face, just as a man speaks with a friend. Then Moses would return to the camp. But the young man who was his helper, Joshua, son of Nun, stayed in the tent. The Lord promises to be his to be with his people. Moses said to the Lord, "It is true that you have told me to lead these people to that land, but you did not tell me whom you would send with me. You have said that you know me well and are pleased with me. Now, if you are, tell me your plans so that I may serve you and continue to please you. Remember also that you have chosen this nation to be your own." The Lord said, "I will go with you, and I will give you victory." Moses replied, "If you do not go with us, don't make us leave this place. How will anyone know that you are pleased with your people and with me if you do not go with us? Your presence with us will distinguish us from any other people on earth." The Lord said to Moses, "I will do just as you have asked, because I know you were very well and am pleased with you. I know you very well and I'm pleased with you." Then Moses requested, "Please let me see the dazzling light of your presence." The Lord answered, "I will make all my splendor pass before you, and in your presence I will announce my sacred name. I am the Lord, and I will show compassion and pity on those I chose. I will not let you see my face, because no one can see me and stay alive. But here is a place beside me where you can stand on a rock. When the dazzling light of my presence passes by, I will put you in an opening in the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take my hand away, and you will see my back, but not my face."
Exodus 34. The second set of stone tablets. The Lord said to Moses, "Cut two stone tablets like the first ones, and I will write on them the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke. Be ready tomorrow morning and come up Mount Sinai to meet me there at the top. No one is to come up with you. No one is to be seen on any part of the mountain, and no sheep or cattle are to gaze at the foot of the mountain." So Moses cut two more stone tablets, and early the next morning he carried them up Mount Sinai, just as the Lord had commanded. The Lord came down in a cloud, stood with him, stood with him there, and pronounced his holy name, the Lord. The Lord then passed in front of him and called out, "I, the Lord, I am a God who is full of compassion and pity, who is not easily angered, and who shows great love and forgiveness, faithfulness. I keep my promise for thousands of generations and forgive evil and sin, but I will not fail to punish children and grandchildren to the third and fourth generation for the sins of their parents." Moses quickly bowed down to the ground and worshiped. He said, "Lord, if you really are pleased with me, I ask you to go with us. These people are stubborn, but forgive our evil and our sin and accept us as your own people." The covenant is renewed. The Lord said to Moses, "I now make a covenant with the people of Israel. In their presence I will do great things, such as have never been done anywhere on earth among any of the nations. All the people will see what great things I, the Lord, can do, because I am going to do an awesome thing to you for you. Obey the laws and I am giving you today, that I am giving you today. I will drive out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites as you advance. Do not make any treaties with the people of the country into which you are going, because this would be a fatal trap for you. Instead, tear down the altar, destroy the sacred palaces, pillars, and cut down the symbols of their goddess Asherah. Do not worship any other gods, because I, the Lord, tolerate no rivals. Do not make any treaties with the people of the country, because when they worship their pagan gods and sacrifice to them, they will invite you to join them, and you will be tempted to eat the food they offer to their gods. Your sons might marry those foreign women who would lead them to be unfaithful to me and to worship their pagan gods. Do not make and worship gods of metal. Keep the festival of unleavened bread as I have commanded you. Eat the unleavened bread for 7 days in the month of Abib, because it was in that month that you left Egypt. Every firstborn son and firstborn male domestic animal belongs to me, but you are to buy back every firstborn donkey by offering a lamb in its place. If you do not buy it back, break its neck, buy back every firstborn son. No one is to appear before me without an offering. You have 6 days in which to do the work, but do not work on the seventh day. Do not even do plowing time for or harvest. Keep the harvest festival when you begin to harvest the first crop of your wheat, and keep the festival of shelters in the autumn when you gather your fruit. 3 times a year all your men must come to worship me, the Lord, the God of Israel. After I have driven out the nations before you and extended your territory, no one will try to conquer your country during the 3 festivals. Do not offer bread made with tears when you sacrifice any animal to me. Do not keep until the following morning any part of the animal killed at the Passover festival. Each year, bring to the house of the Lord the first corn that you harvest. Do not cook a young sheep or goat in its mother's milk. The Lord said to Moses, "Write these words down, because it is on the basis of these words that I am making a covenant with you and with Israel." Moses stayed there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, eating and drinking nothing. He wrote on the tablet the words of the covenant, the Commandments. Moses goes down from Mount Sinai. When Moses went down from Mount Sinai carrying the 10 tablets, his face was sinking because he had been speaking with the Lord, but he did not know it. Aaron and all the people looked at Moses and saw that his face was sinking, and they were afraid to go near him. But Moses called them, and Aaron and all the leaders of the community went to him, and Moses spoke to them. After that, all the people of the Israel gathered around him, and Moses gave them all the laws that the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. When Moses has finished speaking to them, he covered his face with a veil. Whenever Moses went into the tent of the Lord's presence to speak to the Lord, he took the veil off. When he came out, he would tell the people of Israel everything that he had commanded to say, and they would see that his face was shining. Then he would put the veil back on until the next morning he went to speak to the Lord. Not sinking, okay, it was shining. I'm sorry, I read mistakenly. And he was becoming divine and pure with the encounter of God. So this will be the reading for today. And I have forgot to introduce about myself. To those who are new, my name is Hori Horangve. Its meaning is universe. My dad gave me this name, and the meaning is a beautiful one. It's universe. So I'm keeping it for the one that I'm reading the Bible. I mean, doing the work. So I'm recently I started this Bible vlog, and I am posting almost every day 2 chapters. I'm covering about the Bible. I'm reading from the beginning of Genesis, and I'm trying to complete it till the end. So if you like what I do, you can you can like my video, hit on the subscription bell and the bell as well for the notification, so that you will be updated whenever I upload new videos for you. So you can see my previous videos as well. I've shared a few of my thoughts along with the reading and my story as well. So you might find it interesting. I'm adding it in between beginning or and things like that. So yeah, and uh, about today's reading as well, it has said that God is against the idol worship, and he had given a specific commandment to the people to follow. That's what he wanted. So see, it is okay to be kind and to be nice and to adore the creation of God, the animal and the things, but then it is wrong to worship and like consider them as God, because he because we are the master of those things, and God is our master. The one who created everything is a master. So we should not betray him in that way by worshiping other superficial things, right? So I just want you to reflect on what I've said before. So like I said, man has been created with all wisdom and knowledge, and we are a fragment of God. So we know in within us what is good and what is bad, and what is right and what is wrong. So just follow your intuitive, or follow your instinct, and uh, follow yourself, follow your thoughts and what your mind is saying. Yeah, and not on the surrounding or the beliefs your ancestors and things have been following, things like that. People might say that, I was being brought up in this way, and I was being taught to follow this way and do these things like that. If you go by that by that whim of the society and your ancestral customs and belief and things like that, you are not living yourself, and you are just living for someone else only. So in this world, we just came only once only, and we have the freedom and every right to do what we want and what is right for us. So do that, because in the end, we will be we will be all alone only. Yeah, we came to this earth alone, and we will be going back alone, and we will be responsible for ourselves, and no one is going to be responsible for our soul. That we reflect on that, and we we try to live for ourselves and not for someone else. So I just wanted to tell you that. And until tomorrow, and you can leave the comments on whatever you think on my speech, or yeah, on my talks. So you can leave the comments below and we will interact with that. And till tomorrow, stay blessed and you take care. And like I said, we human beings are fragile. We are being born um, with we are being born with sin, and God knows that we are not perfect, we are not divine. So we might tend to fall apart sometimes, and we might tend to sin over and over again. But God is always here, is always merciful, and He will always be there for you until and unless you are ready to, you are willing to be with Him. So that's what I want to say. Bye bye. Take care.